Every artist starts from somewhere, and oftentimes the greatest achievements we see sprout from very humble origins. Think back. At what point did a piece of art feel real to you? I'm not referring to a piece of art that convinces the viewer that something they are experiencing is an objective form of reality, but a piece of art that speaks to your lived experience. When we engage with day-to-day experiences, we don't randomly decide something that just happened means the world to you. Love at first sight is uncommon. It is the aggregate of our experiences that makes us truly appreciative of what we have. In this instance, SMG4 is a series that had no great ambitions at its start. When people ask, what is SMG4? Anyone who is versed in the series will respond with, that depends. Hell, in today's age, people ask what SMG4 is in reference to Glitch, and not the other way around. SMG4 is a series that always changed along with its own discourse. It's difficult to say what SMG4 is due to the series slowly but surely changing over the years. Is SMG4 a series of Mario 64 blooper videos? Or is it an animation channel that does whatever it can to be funny? How about all those story arcs? Some are mostly comical with elements of drama, yet others have the inverse dynamic. Is SMG4 a series that can tell compelling drama with its serious plot? Or did all those attempts with hit in the feels fall flat? The point of this being that there is no uniform consensus of what SMG4 is or should be, and that is because the series indirectly charts the artistic growth of its creators. SMG4, and what later became Glitch Productions, started in 2011. The series was initially nothing more than altered gameplay of Mario 64 with text edited over to tell a short, funny story, or a blooper. However, as time marched on, the style of the videos slowly began to change. The use of animating characters with Gmod was used more and more. Some videos were animated with sprite art, or had 2D animated segments. Music became more and more important, with it eventually becoming a tradition to have original songs accompany the series' larger special episodes. This trend continues the creation of the Glitch channel as well. Metarunner was their first fully fledged 3D animated series made by a small team of passionate and ambitious artists. As time went on, Glitch had more money to invest in their projects, which attracted other talent that eventually manifested into shows like The Amazing Digital Circus, The Gaslight District, and Knights of Guinevere. None of the accomplishments that Glitch has made would have been possible if Luke Ludwigagel, the creator of SMG4 and co-founder of Glitch, had ever decided to stop making episodes of SMG4. That is what is so inspiring about SMG4. At any point in an artist's career, whether they are professional or not, they experience burnout and a loss of interest in their work. We may feel this way because we may feel that what we're making is no good, and that we will never achieve the heights of those we look up to. Anyone can critique SMG4 and say that the series is childish, incoherent, sloppily made, or just straight up bad. I mean, look at the videos that were uploaded in 2011. Are those the peak of entertainment? Obviously not. Yet, it is the persistence to keep going and loving the creations that are made that makes it inspiring. Luke Ludwigagel never stopped making SMG4 episodes for 15 years. Every week was another story created to have us, the audience, laugh and love the insanity that was taking place before our eyes. Throughout those 15 years, the team that would come to be eventually made a universe of characters, places, comedic gags, and story stylization that is entirely unique to SMG4 and, to an extent, Glitch. So what about SMG4? What was it like when it first started on May 7th, 2011, all those years ago? What exactly made this series so magnetic and important? Let's find out. No, and just for fun, I'll be ranking each episode for the respective season, so for this video, it will be every episode released in 2011. The first SMG4 episode is a take on the introduction to the game Mario 64. It stars Mario arriving at the castle, excited at the promise of free cake given to him by Princess Peach. Mario asks Toad if he has seen the princess and knows about the promise of free cake. Toad then lies to Mario. He tells him that the princess's letter was a lie, and that there was no cake. Mario proceeds to become irrationally angry as he punches the outside of the castle walls. He then runs about and spots Princess Peach standing in the distance. Mario goes to Princess Peach and begins to beat her up. Mario becomes so angry that he explodes. The perspective cuts to Toad inside the castle, where he has the feeling that Mario is dead and is full of glee. Lakitu, who is holding the camera for the whole episode, states that it was good footage and the episode promptly ends. This video is about everything you'd expect a 12-year-old would upload on YouTube in 2011 as their first. The aspect ratio does not fit the screen at all, and the edited text frequently leaves the cropped video area. The audio is out of sync, has an echo, and is choppy. Also, the HUD for the actual Mario 64 game is still on display. However, even for the first video, the subtitles for the characters are defined. Mario has red subtitles and everyone else has white. The characters of Mario, Toad, Princess Peach are all introduced reasonably well here too. Mario loves food, has a temper, and is an agent of chaos. Toad generally dislikes Mario and entertains himself by making his life worse. Princess Peach is just simply there and lives under the ire of Mario's chaos. The Cake is a Lie is one of the worst videos to ever be uploaded to the channel, and that is a good thing. This video is less than amateurish. It's obvious the creator had no significant experience, but it was still made. This video exists because its creator wanted to make something that made them happy. The process of its creation was one of fun and learning, and that is why it is beautiful. For every individual masterpiece, there are countless pieces of trash. A vast majority of artists that have ever lived make things only a few eyes will see. Those artists may have other things going on in their life that prevented them from continuing to make art. Those artists were discouraged because the masterpieces have all the attention. Quitting is all too common and tragic. The Cake is a Lie could have been the only video that was uploaded to the channel, and the rest of everything else would have never happened. Yet, the creative mind always wonders what is next, and so if every episode released from this point, history would have been made. SMG4 never gave up and won at life, so maybe we should follow in his footsteps and keep moving forward after our own The Cake is a Lie. Almost a month after The Cake is a Lie was uploaded, the second episode of the series, Dreams, was released. The episode begins with Mario waking up on the roof of Peach's castle. Mario proceeds to eat 1-up mushrooms on the roof and turns to Yoshi to get more. Yoshi gives Mario mushrooms and states that he'll sell drugs to kids and jump off the roof of the castle. After eating all those mushrooms, Mario throws up in the corner for a few minutes. For the remainder of the episode, Mario travels to different levels and locations in Mario 64. Due to eating the mushrooms from earlier, Mario falls asleep and dreams of corrupted and altered versions of the level he is in. This happens a few times before Mario wakes up at the roof of the castle, where it is revealed that everything that happened, including Yoshi giving Mario the mushrooms, was just a dream. Mario then hops down, drives around in his cart, and falls into a pond as the video ends. This episode is about 6 times longer than The Cake is a Lie, at about 12 minutes long, which isn't so bad considering the quality of this episode was better than the first. The aspect ratio is in 4:3, but this time it fits the screen. This episode is the first to have edited background music. The subtitles are more legible than the last. This is the first episode to have Bowser as a character, where it is established that he and Mario generally don't hate each other like in the games. The dialogue between them isn't much, but it hints that the two get along well, and that Mario considers him a friend. It is also interesting to see Mario interact with Lakitu in a way that emphasizes that these videos were meant to be blooper videos from Mario 64, and not their own story. All in all, this episode is still not very good, but it shows progress from the first, and the beginning of the series' signature creativity. I'll rank this episode above The Cake is a Lie. This entire episode is just a Family Guy cutaway gag. Mario decides that he wants to reminisce about the past, so he goes to Toad, Yoshi, and Bowser to think about the old times. This is the first episode to show gameplay and images that are not in Mario 64, such as games from the Mario and Luigi series, and literal JPEGs are found online and replace the gameplay recording. This episode has the subtitles edited over cutscenes from Mario Sunshine and the Mario and Luigi games, but the audio from the cutscene still plays, so it contradicts what the edited subtitles are displaying. This was the first SMG4 video to get a light chuckle out of me, and that was when Yoshi complained to Mario that he's always cheating at Mario Kart. The flashback cuts to Mario sitting still and firing about 100 red shells at Yoshi. This episode also confirms that Mario weighs 300 pounds and only has 1 IQ point in Flood's analysis. This is also the first episode to thank the viewers for watching. It's not much, but thanking the viewers at the end of the video developed its own style too. Have I mentioned that Season 1 of SMG4 is about 11 hours long? Yep, this is what never giving up on your art journey looks like. The early years are a struggle, but it does get better. I'm ranking Flashbacks above Dreams due to the one funny joke. This episode starts with Mario watching the pendulum of a clock. He becomes irritated with it only moving at a set speed and begins to punch it. Doing so accidentally caused Mario to stop time. Unsettled by this, Mario runs throughout the kingdom to see if he can find a way to unfreeze time. After trying and failing a number of times, Mario consults the Mario 64 strategy guide, where he then enters the clock, presses a button, and unfreezes time. This episode was simple but pleasant. There wasn't anything funny in the episode, but its narrative was concise and easy to follow. This episode utilized the features of a Mario 64 hack, which used to create the videos, to a higher potential in this episode. This is the first episode to follow a beginning, middle, and end structure for the narrative, and is evidence of the marginal improvement to this point. I'll rank Time Freeze above Dreams, but below Flashbacks. Mario gives us 10 rules to follow when we are trying to defeat Bowser. This is the first SMG4 episode, or gag, in a series that entails one of the characters in the video giving the audience instructions for how to complete a task. None of Mario's rules end up working due to Mario usually dying in each of them. The short length of this video is to its benefit, because this is the best one so far. Each of Mario's rules allowed for a short gag that was, at best, almost mildly funny. This video is also the first in a long line of SMG4 videos acknowledging Justin Bieber and his association to the SMG4 version of Bowser. I'm not kidding. Justin is going to be a prominent force in the next few years of the channel. In this specific episode, it was when Mario played Justin Bieber's Baby song, which led to Bowser's ear bleeding and him running away. I'll rank Mario's Guide to Defeat Bowser above Flashbacks. Oh, would you look at that? This episode and a few that succeed it have the first intro sequence for the channel. This episode is from the perspective of Lakitu, who recounts the difficulties of filming the bloopers due to Mario's stupidity. The video shows Mario bumbling about at different locations, not doing anything productive or purposeful. Each clip of Mario doing something stupid is succeeded by Lakitu complaining about his job. Eventually, Mario interrupts Lakitu's comments and makes fun of him. Lakitu finishes his piece on why his job is difficult, and the video ends. This video doesn't have any standout moments, and is about on par with Time Freeze, Flashbacks, and Dreams. I'll rank Blooper problems above Dreams, but below Time Freeze. This episode is like the perfect mean of the early days of Season 1 of SMG4. It includes Mario running around different locations in Mario 64, playing the game incorrectly. Unlike previous episodes, this one has no framing device to make it stand out from the others. This episode seems to be attempting to have the theme being Mario uses hacks to beat the game, but it doesn't always follow through with it. However, the implementation of music began to be used a little differently here. Background music is applied more often, and the episode uses licensed music from professional artists. This implementation of music does make this episode a little more lively. I'll rank just like any other day, above Dreams, but below Blooper Problems. Quest for a Console charts Mario's journey to obtain the Nintendo 3DS.
Gosh, I remember that was new. Those were the days.
Mario leaves the castle and hops in his cart to travel across the Mushroom Kingdom. Along the way, he uses hacks to attempt to get to his destination faster, which results in him taking a longer route. When Mario eventually shows up at the shop, the merchant tells him that he sold the last 3DS to Luigi. Mario then heads back to his house where he challenges Luigi to a fight to see who will keep the console. In Smash Bros. 64, Luigi ends up being the victor, but Mario steals the 3DS anyways. Mario then travels back to Peach's castle where he plays the new console, only for Luigi to show up a few seconds later and beat him up for being a crook. I'll rank Quest for a Console above Flashbacks, but below Mario's Guide to Defeating Bowser. Like the previous episode, Have You Seen This Polygon has Mario traveling across the Mushroom Kingdom in search of an item, except in this episode, Mario is searching for his left hand that's gone missing. That's right, 2011 SMG4 figured out how to change the models of the characters. Seeing every minute advancement in production of these videos makes me feel like a scientist observing some microbial life mutating. It's going to be really interesting to see how each of these small improvements end up changing the series down the line. Anyways, this episode requires Mario traveling to the sky to retrieve his left hand. Almost everyone he talks to doesn't help him except for a bomb that shoots him out of a cannon. Mario finds his hand, only for it to be revealed that his left hand has become Master Hand. Mario then does battle and successfully retrieves his hand. I'll rank Have You Seen This Polygon above Flashbacks, but below Quest for a Console. This blooper video is about Paper Mario and the shenanigans of that world. In this episode, Mario and Luigi are invited to a party at Peach's castle. The party quickly goes out of control and the castle explodes. Mario then has to pay off the expenses, but chooses to do random stuff instead. And by random, I mean random. There really is no plot or short form skits for the rest of the episode. It's just text overlaid with gameplay and Mario walking around and talking to random characters. The ending is surprisingly dark though. At the end of the day, when Mario refuses to pay the expenses for the castle, Princess Peach decides to murder Luigi. The episode ends here. Other than the humorously dark ending, this episode doesn't really give you anything to chew on. I'll rank it below The Cake is a Lie. The video may have been made better than The Cake is a Lie, but I find it to be very forgettable, and I don't really think there's anything to take away from this one. An adventurous drive features Mario taking a trip around the Mushroom Kingdom in his cart. He breaks the laws of physics by hacking, purposely sits around his cart and does nothing while racing, and fails to leap in the air of his cart and land on a boat. Mario proves himself to be unpopular with the crowd watching him race, so he decides to drive on their face. While Mario is up to mischief, Toad and Peach seem to be enjoying themselves without Mario's presence. These cutaways are cute little breaks from this episode's pacing of Mario simply driving around. Mario also gets ran over by a train and enacts his revenge by destroying the train and killing everyone on board. This episode is a little more enjoyable than the others, but still doesn't stand out too much. I will say it's interesting to see the Thanks for Watching portions of these videos ask the viewer to rate the video. I don't even know how many people are aware that YouTube used to have a star rating system. I'll rank An Adventurous Drive above Have You Seen This Polygon, but below Quest for a Console. The title of this one says it all. Princess Peach goes on vacation, leaving Mario and Toad to look after the castle. She instructs Mario to behave, only for him to do everything she told him not to. Mario throws a party and renovates the castle. Mario then gets a pet Bomb and drinks many alcoholic beverages. Whilst drunk, his pet wanders into the castle and explodes, leveling the castle to the ground. When Peach returns, she enters rageful hysteria and guns Mario down. This episode is fairly nondescript and blends into the others so far. It is almost cute seeing that getting drunk, doing drugs, and mass murder being the pinnacle of entertainment in these videos. It reminds me of the jokes me and my friends used to tell in attempts to be funny and edgy. I'll rank A Day Without Peach above Flashbacks, but below Have You Seen This Polygon? This episode's plot structure is a little closer to modern SMG4. In this episode, Mario hears about the new Canon 9001, which is a much fancier and better version of the Canon Mario normally uses. He purchases the Canon using Peach's bank account and has it installed. Mario decides that his first target should be the sun, and upon firing, he lands into the sun, destroying it. Darkness then falls upon the land, and it is up to Mario to save the day. He figures out that he must enter a portal and defeat a monster to solve the problem. With the help from Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario, Mario uses a light bulb to discover the portal. At this point, the episode sort of falls apart as it transitions to recording of Pokemon Platinum. Giratina shows up and is promptly defeated by Mario. When Mario arrives back at the castle, Peach fires herself at the sun using the cannon, and the problem happens all over again. The first 5 minutes of this episode were better than the sum of its parts, but that second half is uninteresting, even for 2011 SMG4 standards. This is the first time Mario interacts with Pokemon in the series, though. Later on in the series, Mario develops quite the obsession with those creatures. I'll rank Darkness Takes Over above Flashbacks, but below A Day Without Peach. This episode is simple. Mario feels bad for Peach not liking him, so he asks the help of Toad for advice on how to be more likable. Mario realizes that he has only ever abused Peach, just like how he does to everyone else, so he tries to make it up to her. He admits every wrongful thing he's ever done, including the things Peach didn't know about. He wanted to show off his muscles and went into her room without any clothes on. Mario even created a scenario to save Peach, with her getting ran over by train tracks, only for him to give up and go to the bathroom. A few other of Mario's antics happen for him to realize that he doesn't care about charming Peach and that he'd rather be a problem for everybody. The simplicity of this episode works to its benefit, as the jokes within this episode worked better due to them being based on Mario being a terrible person. This is also the first time Mario has been naked in an SMG4 video. Mario running around without any clothes on becomes a norm for the series, and is a litmus test for if anyone has the mental capacity to endure this insane web series. I'll rank Charming Peach above Mario's Guide to Defeating Bowser. The simplicity continues with Luigi's payback. Luigi has had enough of not being in the spotlight, so he wants to kill Mario. Luigi turns to Bowser for help, in which Bowser uses a variety of different methods in an attempt to kill Mario. These methods end up failing, as not only did Mario survive each one, but he ended up enjoying the chaos. Luigi then ignores Bowser's methods by trying his own, but that fails too. Luigi then attempts to kill Mario directly. Because Mario was his brother, Luigi let Mario get a 10-second head start if he could answer what 1 + 1 was correctly. Mario fails, but Toad intervenes and tells Luigi not to kill Mario because he doesn't want to clean up the mess. Mario and Luigi then talk it out for a while and reconcile enough to where they don't kill each other. This episode didn't have any laughs, but its simple plot lended way to the video styling of the time. This episode, along with the naked Mario of the last one, were the first to have recolored Marios in them. In this episode, Mario's cap and shirt were colored green to establish Luigi. This episode is also the first to make frequent jokes on whether Luigi is gay or not. Luigi being gay becomes a running gag in the SMG4 series that never truly confirms if Luigi's into men or not. I'll rank Luigi's payback above Charming Peach. The title says it all with this one. Princess Peach's birthday is tomorrow, and Mario doesn't have a gift. He captures a butterfly from outside, but upon releasing it, he makes a mess inside the castle. Somehow. Peach then bans Mario from going to her party. The next day, Mario decides to go to the birthday party anyways, but finds 2 Toad guards by the front entrance. Mario then attempts to use 10 different disguises to fool Toads into getting in and attending the party. None of the disguises work, so Mario glitches through the walls to make his way inside. When Mario finally gets in, he discovers that the party is already over. He then makes amends with Peach and apologizes for making a mess. The different disguises in this episode were sort of neat, and the plot was simple and effective enough for what the video was. All rank, Master of Failed Disguises, above Quest for Console, but below Mario's Guide to Defeat Bowser. This is it! Mario is done and finally out of the series. No, not really. This episode was solid enough. Here, Mario goes through a series of painful endeavors for this video's blooper. Mario has had enough of the lack of respect he gets and decides to quit. This proves a problem for Lakitu, or how else will he film a local idiot? Lakitu then interviews different characters to see who could fill in for Mario's role. He deduces that either Yoshi or Luigi would be the best option, but neither of them have the same pull that Mario had. Speaking of Mario, he quickly became bored of himself and decided to return to Lakitu. Lakitu and Mario reunite and realize that they both need each other to enjoy their daily chaos. The general presentation of this episode is a little better than those before it. The pacing of the episode moved at a better clip, and the editing made each plot point more readable to the viewer. Not too bad for this early in the series. All rank, Mario quits above Luigi's payback. This is the best episode so far, and genuinely emblematic for the type of humor and video style this series will blossom into, which is funny, because based on the title I was expecting for it to be along the lines of the others in terms of enjoyment so far. The episode, A Random Day, is a collection of short skits of Mario doing random things in Mario 64. For this one, there is no plot synopsis because the episode is a literal random collection of events. This episode is quite wholesome to watch given how juvenile the production still is, but seeing Mario and the creator of SMG4 have fun controlling Mario in these silly scenarios is heartwarming. This is an episode I recommend to SMG4 fans. This episode is like the grandparent to the Sid Madanar series. The best skit of the bunch here is Mario announcing to Toad that he's going to die and starts to descend into a beam of light with a Hallelujah chorus playing in the background. This moment is a good sign for things to come. All rank, A Random Day, above Mario quits. Seeing the incremental improvement in real time makes watching all these old videos more bearable than it would be. We're at the point in the series where baby steps feel like giant leaps. I'm excited to see where the series goes next. Losing your N64 is what it feels like to have your childhood console break, and feeling horror and dread upon looking at the market to buy a replacement. This episode has Mario tilt the game cartridge to Luigi's N64, causing the screen to mess up. Luigi thinks Mario broke his console and orders him to get a new one before tomorrow. Mario then asks multiple different people if they have an N64, or if they know how to get one. No one has an N64, so Mario turns to the only entity he knows how to get one: God. God instructs Mario to travel to Nintendo HQ to get one. Mario goes there, but is informed that he cannot get one. Mario then sets off a bomb and destroys Nintendo HQ. When Mario returns to Peach's castle, he sees that Luigi is playing on his N64. Luigi apparently traveled back in time, off-screen, to get a new one, and the brothers then played games together. This episode has a neat little effect of a TV screen imposed upon the painting in the original game. There's not much else to say here. All rank, losing your N64, above Charming Peach, but below Luigi's payback. Mario and Bowser's friendship is cemented in this episode as Bowser is down in the dumps, and Mario wants to cheer him up. Bowser was feeling depressed and tired of his day-to-day life, so Mario apologized to him for all the times he killed him. Bowser accepts his apology, but, with still being in an emotional state, starts to beat Mario up. Mario then asks a Goomba what Bowser likes to do for him, to incorrectly assume he likes hugs. Mario then starts to chase Bowser in an attempt to hug him, as Bowser flees in fear. Mario then proceeds to do a bunch of random things and dedicates all of his attention to cheering Bowser up. This doesn't work as Bowser decides to leave the Mushroom Kingdom, yet he instantly, and I mean instantly, regrets his decision. Bowser reminisces upon all his good memories with Mario before he gets hit by a train. Mario visits Bowser in the hospital, and the two truly become friends, sort of. The wholesome plot of this episode makes it stand out from the others before it. The editing also continues to improve.
To an extent.
I'll rank Bowser the Unhappy Fat Turtle above Mario Quits, but below A Random Day. This is a bit of a landmark episode for SMG4, as it was the first to have an original character. The new character called X,
Not to be confused with the other SMG4 character named X,
is a villain who wants to steal Mario's body and take over the world. X successfully sneaks up behind Mario and jumps inside his body. Mario is then taken to his inner conscious and must find a way to defeat X on the inside. While X controls Mario, he begins killing all the Mario 64 characters to clear his path to victory. In Mario's subconscious, he figures out that he must get a key to eject X out of his body. Mario obtains the key and does so. Once X is ejected out from Mario's body, he reels over from sickness. Mario then beats X up and locks him in jail. This episode uses the gameplay elements from Mario 64 and Mario Party to tell the story better than the previous ones. There is no overlapping music in this episode between the edited music and the native music from the game. Overall, the pacing in this one was more snappy to those that came before it. This is also the first episode to have the iconic sound effect. X as a character may not be interesting or may have done much, but he opened the door for original characters appearing in the series, and that's worth something. I'll rank Enter X above Bowser the Unhappy Fat Turtle, but below A Random Day. This episode has Mario try out a new cannon being installed by Luigi and Professor E. Gadd. Mario hops in the cannon and is shot much further than he anticipated. Mario then arrives at a mysterious place he has never seen before, dubbed the Land That Never Was. Mario then travels across this land to find his way back home. The level that Mario traverses is from a ROM hack level, and Mario escapes by cheating too much. There isn't much to say about this video. I'll rank The Land That Never Was above A Day Without Peach, but below Have You Seen This Polygon? A storm has made its way to the Mushroom Kingdom, and everyone is staying inside the castle. Luigi sings in the rain, and Mario fails to fix the pipe. Suddenly, a mysterious silent person arrives at the castle. Mario decides to invite him in so he stays out of the rain for the night. When everyone fell asleep for the night, the mysterious visitor killed Luigi. The next day, the visitor makes his way outside the castle and goes on a massive killing spree. Mario finds out and forms a group with Toad to find the visitor. When Mario eventually finds the visitor, they have a showdown at the top of the mountain at Bomb-Omb Battlefield. Mario defeats the visitor by tossing King Bomb-Omb at him. A cute little visual gag with Bomberman happens too. Mario returns to the castle and the rain finally clears. This episode is similar to Enter X, but the usage of more characters and the gloomier setting with the storm make the plot work better. This episode also uses sound effects marginally better than the last few. I'll rank The Visitor above Enter X, but below A Random Day. Just a day, he said. Just a day. It took 24 episodes for the man himself to arrive, as Account Loss is the episode that introduced SMG4 as a character. This episode is special, as it defines SMG4's character dynamic with Mario and his own purpose in the world. In this episode, Super Mario Glitchy 4, or SMG4, arrives at Peach's castle to check up on Mario and the gang. Here it is revealed that SMG4 is Mario's boss, and he creates the bloopers and videos of all of Mario and the gang's adventures. As 4 checks up on the other characters, Mario goes outside to take a piss. Outside, he meets a shady person under the bridge who promises Mario unlimited pasta if he hands him the password to SMG4's YouTube account. Mario agrees to this deal before the shady person is even done talking. Mario finds the password and hands it over, but the shady person obviously doesn't follow through with his promise and immediately flees. Mario felt bad about losing the password and not having unlimited pasta, so he told 4 it happened out of guilt. SMG4 didn't take the news well, and we see the iconic image of him with one eyelid halfway closed. Later that day, Mario wakes up to see that the world is all corrupted, and that the shady person has control over his body. The shady person tortures Mario by killing him repeatedly. Mario eventually gets a break from the torture and returns to 4 to find a solution to the problem. Mario and SMG4 attempt to log into the account and email YouTube to solve the problem, but both attempts fail. Mario then plants a bomb in the shady person's laptop and kills him before he could delete SMG4's YouTube account. SMG4 then thanks Mario for helping him and leaves to make more videos. Mario says farewell as SMG4 promises that he'll come back again someday. The camera pans out as we see Mario, Peach, and Toad wave goodbye. This episode is so much better given the context, given how far Luke as a creator has progressed, and it is so sweet to see where it all began. This was the episode where SMG4 started to really feel like itself in a number of ways. The dialogue before is bittersweet as it is heartwarming. He said that he'd be here only for a day, and he ended up creating enough joy for a lifetime. I'll put account loss above a random day. Thank you, SMG4. We'll all see you again someday soon. Hey, you know what's funny than 24? 25! In this episode, Mario is told about a place that serves unlimited pasta. Mario travels to this place only to be immediately disappointed by the lack of pasta. Instead, he encounters a sorcerer that has a gem that controls the normal from abnormal in reality. Mario smashes it, and we find out the world is all corrupted and weird looking. A number of short gags then occur of all the random weird things that are happening. Mario eventually gets tired of the madness and gives the sorcerer $30 to buy a new gem. Reality is restored and things go back to normal. This episode is sort of like Mario Wonder long before that ever came out. It is interesting to see the attention to detail and effort put in these old episodes with some of the smaller details. For example, Mario flies off a ramp in his cart and lands in the castle walls. When Mario lands in, his location in Mario 64 version is exactly where it is in the Mario Kart version. Even in these old videos, the little details are spot on. I'll rank Restoring Normality above Bowser the Unhappy Fat Turtle, but below Enter X. The Olympic Games are being held in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Lakitu wants to enter Mario, so he can earn some of the prize money. Lakitu then trains Mario to get into shape so he can perform well. A brief training montage is held. Once the games arrive, Mario must compete against Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi in a number of events. Mario ends up performing poorly, as he places last in every event. The games end with Mario placing last and Luigi winning. Lakitu is furious over Mario's loss and assaults Luigi at the end. This episode is like the past few in storytelling and video editing quality. I'll rank Mario at the Olympic Games above The Visitor, but below A Random Day. Mario and Luigi are playing games and cooking food together, which annoys Wario as they are making too much noise. When both Mario and Luigi are out of the room, Wario deletes Luigi's save file from Mario 64. When Luigi returns, he enters a state of rage for losing his save file, and he blames Mario for deleting it. The two brothers then go to war with each other, pulling pranks and disturbing their day-to-day life. They end up being noisier than they were before due to this war, which causes Wario to regret splitting them up to begin with. Mario eventually points out that he couldn't have deleted Luigi's save file as they were both in the same room as it was deleted. Wario finally admits to Mario and Luigi that he deleted the save file and is put under punishment. Luigi makes him play Mario 64 until he completes the game to how it was before he deleted it. This is better than Mario's idea for a punishment, as he wanted Wario to dance naked in public. Another episode of the same color as last few. At this point in the series, the beeping sound that occurred between each edited clip is gone, and the use of the camera has improved since the start. At this point in the series, you also see how almost every character is a recolor of Mario. It isn't so distracting with just a few characters being recolors, but it does get to be too much later down the line. I'll rank Brother Wars above Mario at the Olympic Games, but below A Random Day. Mario is being a nuisance, and Bowser has had enough. Bowser calls upon a hired professional to kidnap and torture Mario. Wait a minute, I thought Bowser got along with Mario. Well, there is continuity in these early videos, but not too much. Lakitu notices that Mario is missing and asks around if anyone knows where Mario is, or if they can save him. The only person who is happy that Mario is gone is Toad. Toad will celebrate the absence of Mario many more times in the future. Mario tries to escape a number of times, and eventually goes crazy. This episode uses the Scatman music a number of times, and it's the first use being when Mario tries to escape. This is one of the few moments in these early episodes that is still funny today. SMG4 finds Mario and throws a bomb at the kidnapper. Mario and SMG4 escape and go home. This episode has a few funny and charming moments. I'll rank Italian kidnapping above A Random Day, but below Account Loss. Time Travel Tells is about Mario messing with time. The title is self-explanatory. After playing with Toad, Mario picks up the phone from EGAD, who wants help from Luigi for an experiment. Mario goes to EGAD's lab and plays with Luigi, and stumbles upon a time machine. Mario travels through time to explore the Mushroom Kingdom of old. After messing around for a while, Mario decides to travel back in time to 1996 to see when Mario 64 was first being made. Mario ends up accidentally killing the person who proposed the idea of Mario 64. When Mario travels back to the present, he ends up in a black void and sees that everything he knows is gone. Even SMG4 himself is all messed up in this timeline. Mario then goes back in time again to revive the person he killed. Everything goes back to normal, and all's well that ends well. The plot of this episode was fine, and the comedy is what it's always been. However, this is the first episode where the use of green screening and Gmod is used. I wasn't expecting to see this so early in the series. The use of green screening and Gmod will unleash the potential for future stories and comedy in the future. It's neat to see it being used this far back. I'll rank Time Travel Tells above The Visitor, but below Mario at the Olympic Games. The Blooper competition is about SMG4 squaring off in a video making contest against a person called Mario 54321. Mario, being a fellow Mario 64 Blooper content creator, still makes videos to this day. That's pretty neat. SMG4 gets the help from Mario to help train him to perform in this blooper off. Mario doesn't train him very well, and 4 enters the contest unprepared. The contest is held in a place called Ova City. Mario has won the contest for the past 4 years and has quite the fan base. Once the competition is finished, Mario's creation wins the favor of the crowd with thunderous applause. SMG4's video, well, didn't win. Mario feels bad for 4 and calls the US military, claiming that Mario is a terrorist. Seconds later, missiles fall down and the city is destroyed. No one dies though. I'm finding that I enjoy these 2011 videos with SMG4 the most. This was a fun little episode whose story structure and pacing holds up today. I can see this one being remade and being pretty good with modern talent and resources. I'll rank the Blooper competition above Account Loss. Bowser creates 4 robotic clones in an attempt to kill Mario. Throughout the entirety of this episode, Mario escapes the clutches of the clones and tries to find a way to destroy them before he meets his own demise. Mario manages to sneak past the clones and evade them in a montage. Mario eventually enlists the help from the Bob-ombs and Bob-omb Battlefield to defeat the clones. The Bob-ombs and a bunch of other random objects swarm the clones using a cheat, but this fails. Mario then destroys each clone one by one using a variety of methods. Mario defeats them all and the status quo returns. This episode had a few enjoyable sequences. I can tell the creator didn't know the meaning of some of the words used in these early episodes, as those are not so appropriate. The old internet was certainly a different place, for the better and worse. I'll rank 4 Clones 1 Italian above Brother Wars, but below A Random Day. The longest episode so far, Crime Time, follows the events after Mario and Luigi get into trouble with the law. Mario and Luigi are messing around in their carts, and Luigi drives as fast as he can off a ramp. Luigi ends up traveling too fast and flies off into the distance, crashing into a boat. Mario and Luigi relax at Peach's castle after the incident before they hear police sirens outside. Luigi is put under arrest for crashing into the boat. The next day, Luigi's trial is held, and Mario is his lawyer. Luigi would have been proven innocent by the ennui of the judge, but Mario decided to mess things up by objecting to his own defense. His reasoning was because someone ate his spaghetti last night and he wanted revenge. Luigi was then sentenced to 100 years in jail. After spending some time in prison, Mario attempts to break Luigi out. Somehow, he gets past all the guards, and the two brothers escape using Star Fox's spaceship. The brothers make their way home by crashing into Peach's castle, but the police aren't far behind. Mario and Luigi then evade the law by wearing disguises and decide that the only way to free themselves from the police was to plead for forgiveness from the judge. Luigi commits Grand Theft Auto on a police officer, and the two brothers make their way. Mario and Luigi then proceed to bicker towards each other until the end of the episode. The plot of this episode is fairly ambitious for the artistic capabilities of the creator at this time. The lengthy episode does wear a little long, and it needed a little more action pacing-wise to keep it entertaining. This episode does introduce the running gag with the police though. This gag of the police being an unstoppable force in the universe goes all the way to the series completion. It's cool that the gag originated in this episode and manages to always be funny. This episode shows promise, but the series has a ways to go before it can tell stories like these and be entertaining the whole way through. Still, one of the better ones for Season 1. I'll rank Crime Time above Italian Kidnapping, but below Account Loss. Scatman's Revenge surprised me. I legitimately enjoyed the episode. The episode begins with Mario creating a bunch of alternate accounts to like Scatman John's music videos on YouTube. Toad then tells Mario there's pasta outside. Mario bolts out the door in an instant and tries to find the pasta. Mario then puts on his favorite Scatman song to help him find the pasta. But just as he's about to, a strike of thunder occurred and the sky turned black. The ghost of Scatman John spoke to Mario and told him he was angry for him and everyone else overusing his music all the time. The ghost of Scatman John then puts 3 curses on Mario. The first being that Mario's clothes flashed a bunch of colors, and whenever someone looked at them, a bunch of weird stuff happened. The second was a giant evil Mario stomping around. The giant Mario destroyed part of Peach's castle and kidnapped Peach King Kong style. The military and Luigi tried to defeat the giant Mario, but failed. Lakitu managed to take it down by showing a bunch of numbers. The ghost of Scatman John's final curse was playing a song all around the earth for all of eternity to annoy everyone as ultimate punishment. Mario and Toad combated this by playing a bunch of other songs in sequence to try to overpower the Scatman music. It took one specific song to accomplish this though, that being Justin Bieber's Baby. The slapstick in this episode is surprisingly solid, with a number of funny visual gags accompanied well by the Scatman music playing in the background. The use of Scatman's song throughout the episode keeps the pacing moving at a good clip, and the video is never boring because of it. This episode channels its chaotic energy into a number of good jokes, and a solid entertaining story that is engaging the whole way through. After Justin Bieber's Baby song overpowers the Scatman music, the ghost of Scatman John finally calms down. He manifests himself in front of Mario, and the SMG4 series has its first emotional moment. Mario compliments Scatman John about his music, and how it has brought joy to people such as SMG4 himself. The ghost of Scatman John then sees how his music makes the lives of others better, and ascends into the light and peace. Mario then goes outside to begin cleaning up after the mess made by the giant Mario, as he listens to Scatman's music. This episode is just as funny as it is wholesome, and is a lovely tribute to Scatman John and his music. It's interesting how I put forth a number of critiques about SMG4 series, not being able to justify their longer video times, just for this one to immediately prove me wrong. This episode holds up surprisingly well for how old it is. I recommend it to SMG4 fans, and maybe even passerbys who are interested in the channel. This episode is a bit of a hidden gem. I'll rank Scatman's Revenge above the Blooper competition. Mario and Toad share scary stories, where Toad tells Mario of a secret forgotten door in Peach's castle. It is said that whoever enters never exits. This spooks Mario, but he decides to find it anyways. He runs around the castle trying to find the door, but to no avail. Mario then travels back in time to when Peach's castle is first being built. Mario finds himself in a tunnel underground and makes his way to the door through a number of shenanigans. Before Mario opens the door, SMG4's computer crashes, which was depicting the story we were seeing. The computer gets running again, but Mario must flee the tunnel before cement blocks his exit. Mario makes his way out, and time travels back to the present. At the end of the video, it is revealed that the secret door only leads to a bathroom. This video is fine. With the exception of Scatman's Revenge, it was about on par with the videos that precede it. I'll rank The Forgotten Door above Mario Olympic Games, but below Brother Wars. Mario wants to make his own Mario 64 blooper video, but doesn't have his own computer to make one. The last time he asked SMG4, he got shot at, and Peach's computer is old, slow, and terrible. Mario watches TV and sees an ad for a prank USB that'll make someone think the computer has a virus. Mario purchases the prank USB and puts it in 4's computer. Mario screws around and a fun little air song effect plays. When 4 returns, he thinks his computer is broken and goes to the shop to get the help for a professional. While SMG4 is gone, Mario makes his own Mario 64 blooper video. 4 is unable to get help from a professional, so he comes back. He finds out that it was just Mario pranking him, and the two watch Mario's blooper. Mario's video makes SMG4 look bad, and the video is already uploaded to YouTube. The video just abruptly ends with 4 being real mad. The other part of the song was fun, as well as the concept. I'll rank Bloopception above 4 Clones 1 Italian, but below A Random Day. This episode exists. Bowser and his minions kidnap Princess Peach and hold her for ransom for 1,000 coins. Instead of saving her life how he always does, Mario decides to pay the ransom. Mario then goes through a number of gags to obtain enough coins. Mario climbs a mountain and dies a few times. Mario ends up never seeing Peach and the video just ends. I'll rank Mission for Peach above The Land That Never Was, but below Have You Seen This Polygon? Another time-traveling episode? Huh. This episode has no sound throughout the whole video because of a copyright strike, and that does significantly impact the enjoyability of this episode. Mario attempts to jump over Peach's castle, but accidentally finds himself time-traveling 10,000 years into the future. Mario meets Future Mario. Future Mario takes present Mario into a time machine, but accidentally sends himself back to the wrong time. The two arrive at Peach's castle in the year 2075, the year of the zombie invasion. Both Marios are assisted by a new character, Xbox Fan 995, or as we know him, X. This X is not the same X that appeared 16 episodes back, as this is a self-insert character like SMG4, who has a real-life counterpart. X as a character stays for the duration of the series. The real-life counterpart for X, Armanzi, became one of the editors and writers for SMG4 episodes down the line. Back to the story, X helps Mario defeat the zombies, and Mario is sent back to the correct time. Mario attempts to jump over the castle one more time, but 4 disables the super jump cheat just before he makes it. I'll rank castle jumping, time travel, zombies above losing your N64, but below Luigi's Payback. Mario decides to install a security system into Peach's castle because he is tired of all the crime and random stuff that happens every day. After threatening the person who installed the system, Mario managed to get it for free. The security system instantly becomes more of a detriment to the residents of the castle as it gets in the way of their life. The security system could not identify SMG4, and so it tries to kill him. Mario doesn't like how it's attacking his friend, so he helps SMG4 disable the system. X recommends that they move at night, so they can sneak into the castle. After making their ways in, SMG4 figures out how to disable the system, and does just that. This episode is also fine, not much more to say beyond the plot analysis, with the exception of the rocket launcher sound effect being used. I'll rank Hall 9000 above Enter X, but below The Visitor. This episode is wholesome. Mario, Luigi, 4, and X are playing Mario Party, and decide they want to play another game to see who is best. They end up playing hide and seek with Mario, being the seeker, who must count up to 1 million. But Mario can't count. Luigi hides on his own, while 4 and X hide together. They decide to hide in the cannon and bomb on Battlefield, but it was the same cannon that Mario upgraded a while ago. The two end up being shot much further than they thought, and wound up in the land that never was, the same place that Mario wound up nearly 20 episodes ago. It's neat to see continuity present in the world, even when the series was still in its infancy. X and 4 try to escape the land that never was, with a variety of methods. Chaos ensues as the two go all over the place. The character dynamic of X and 4 works well in this episode. X is calm, collected, and rational. He doesn't panic until things become insane, which is a common occurrence in the universe. 4 and X work well together because of how they rely on each other in desperate situations. They are both straight man characters who relate to the audience, as well as being closer to how actual people in real life would react in these scenarios.
4 is more likely to use the chaos to escape, while X is the more responsible voice of reason, until he gets mad. This happens in the Forgotten Land, where X finally has enough and throws a bomb down the pipe. Everyone gets rickrolled and a bunch of other weird stuff happens, and the two fall back down to Peach's castle. Mario finally finishes counting and sees 4 and X on the ground, exhausted right where they started. Luigi is still yet to be found. This episode is cute and fun, and it reminds me of playing hide and seek with my friends. I'll rank hide and seek above account loss, but below the blooper competition. In the middle of the night, Mario looks for a secret stash of mushrooms, only to find that his chest of mushrooms is empty. Mario calls upon Luigi, Bowser, Toad, Peach, Lakitu, 4, and X to see who ate all of his mushrooms. Mario threatens to kill whoever ate his mushrooms. Each character that Mario accused tells their story about what happened that day, each character being partially responsible due to them eating one mushroom out of the chest and moving it from place to place. Mario is unable to deduce that everyone ate his mushrooms. 4 is tired of Mario's bullshit and tells him that Mario himself is responsible. Mario believes this and then he commits suicide. The episode has one of the better plots for the season. By this point, the first cast for SMG4 has kind of formed, with each character having a distinct personality. I'll rank The Mystery of the Chest above the blooper competition, but below Scatman's Revenge.
Weegee disease follows Mario checking up on Luigi one day to collect $10 from him, only for Mario to find that Luigi is unable to speak and looks weird. Concerned, Mario calls Dr. Mario to check up on him. Even though Mario and Dr. Mario are the same person, Dr. Mario diagnoses Luigi with Weegee disease. Dr. Mario says it's incurable and leaves. Mario decides to get help from Wizard instead, who tells him that Mario must collect the herbs so Wizard can make potions. At this point, the episode slows down as the usual process of Mario trying to find something occurs. Mario gives Wizard a 1-up mushroom instead, which does the trick. After giving the potion to Luigi, the green-clad plumber blows up. This distresses Mario for 3 seconds before the real Luigi shows up. Luigi tells Mario that he was fooled by a fake robot Luigi, and that he put the fake there to go on vacation. Dr. Mario couldn't tell the difference because he's an idiot and supposedly a terrorist. The beginning and end acts of this episode include the use of more sound effects and memes, which make the episode more enjoyable. This episode is also the first to use the Birabuto Kingdom song from Super Mario Land for the credits. This song is commonly used for the outro for nearly every SMG4 episode. I'll rank Weegee disease above the blooper competition, but below the mystery of the chest. Mario finds a pair of golden overalls and decides to wear them. When SMG4 finds Mario wearing these overalls, he wants them for himself so he can become rich. 4 then chases Mario around in an attempt to steal the overalls. Wario sees Mario wearing these and decides to join in the attempt to steal them. To prevent his own death, Mario proposes that the 3 of them go on a race to win them, with the winner keeping the overalls. Mario shoots them out of a cannon and the race is on. Wario and 4 don't have any luck finding them. Mario finds the pair but is stopped by Donkey Kong. After a series of events, the overalls end up underground. Metal Mario finds them and tells them the pair aren't even gold. The crew gives up and Metal Mario gets away with his lie. This episode is kind of fun, but typical for a 2011 SMG4 Mario 64 blooper. Nothing stands out too much. I'll rank Race for Golden Overalls above Hall 9000, but below The Visitor. This episode follows Luigi as he travels through Peach's castle alone. Luigi's cart ran out of gas and must stay at the castle overnight. Luigi is easily frightened and has a hard time staying. Luigi encounters a number of ghosts as they pull pranks on him. Luigi enters the basement and gets jump scared by Mario. Luigi enters an intense state of panic and wakes up from his nightmare. The whole episode is just a nightmare. Luigi then goes back to sleep and the episode ends. Not a whole lot happens in this one. There are random images plastered everywhere that have nothing to do with the plot or comedy. Luigi is well characterized in this episode, but taken to the extreme. Luigi is about 5 times as easily frightened as he is in normal Mario games. Luigi does have a few bouts of being brave though. I'll rank Luigi in the Haunted Castle above Bloopception, but below A Random Day.
Brother Battles begins with Mario and Luigi playing Mario Party, with Luigi winning every game. This frustrates Mario, which sends the two brothers into an argument that lasts a day. 4 and X can't stand their arguing, so they have them compete against each other to settle the argument. X is paired with Luigi, and 4 is paired with Mario. The two teams compete against each other in Mario Party. Mario consistently loses, and is the reason for Luigi and X winning. Mario rage quits, and the episode ends. This episode reuses plot points, with Mario and Luigi competing against each other, and their argument annoying some other character. However, I don't think this episode is better than previous ones at executing those plot points. This episode also overuses some sound effects. I'll rank Brother Battles above Restoring Normality, but below Enter X. Mario is having a not-so-intelligent conversation with Toad when you hear something happen outside. A pillar of light picks him up to a special place high above. Mario has been contacted by the spirits of the stars, who plead for his help. The shrine he stands upon contains the gems of life, which keep balance in the world. A shady and villainous figure snuck their way up there and threw 3 of the gems off of the shrine, scattering them across the world. The spirit of the stars then instruct Mario to recover the lost gems and save the world. Mario must find a blue, red, and green gem. The blue is someplace with water, the red is near someplace with lava, and the green could be anywhere. Mario then begins his quest by finding the blue gem. He ends up searching far and wide only to find it in the fish tank inside of Peach's castle. Mario then moves out to find the red gem. This is technically the first story arc in the SMG4 series, with the episode having 2 sequels. Although story arcs won't really be a thing until Season 8 in the year 2018, it's neat to see this being tried here. This episode sets up the importance of stars in the SMG4 universe, as they enforce balance with good and evil. I'll rank The Lost Gems Part 1 above The Visitor, but below Time Travel Tells. It sucks being Toad. All he does is stay in one spot while Mario harasses him all day. However, Toad falls into a hole outside the castle one day and finds a pile of gold. Toad uses this gold to purchase Peach's castle. As an act of revenge, Toad bans Mario, 4, X, and Luigi from the castle. The gang then try to find their way back in. After breaking their way in through the roof, Mario, 4, X, and Luigi shoot some guns. A hole in the floor opens, causing all the gold to fall in. Everyone parts their ways, and Toad leaps into the hole to recover his gold. This episode is alright. Having a plot puts it above a lot of the 2011 episodes, but all the reused jokes are not executed as well as other episodes. The gross out humor in this one makes it worse. I'll rank Toad Gold above Losing Your N64, but below Castle Jumping, Time Travel, Zombies. Fun fact, Part 2 and 3 of The Lost Gems are the least viewed videos on the channel. This is likely because of a few reasons. The episodes came out in between other more notable episodes such as Account Lost and War of the Fat Italians 2011, so newer fans are likely to look over them when watching videos from this area. Nothing much else happens plot-wise in them either, and the jokes are less than stellar. There also isn't much reason to watch Part 2 and 3 of the miniseries that wasn't super interesting to begin with. Still, they're not the worst. Part 2 of The Lost Gems follows Mario collecting the red gem. Mario travels to Lethal Lava Land to obtain it, but the Pokemon Heatran is keeping guard of it. After a battle, Mario defeats Heatran, but the gem explodes out of the volcano and flies over to Bowser's lair. I said that weirdly. Mario then battles Bowser for the gem. After winning the battle, Mario returns the gem to the shrine and begins a search for the last gem. The only joke that worked in this episode is Mario's Nokia phone still functioning while sitting in lava. The other jokes play on gross out and work about as well as the last episode. I'll rank The Lost Gems Part 2 above Quest for a Console, but below Master of Failed Disguises. Oh, that certainly is a way to title an episode. Mario is watching TV when he sees an ad for a new game. Mario is convinced to purchase the game and decides to stay up all night to wait for the store to open so he can be the first one to buy it. Mario is unable to stay up and falls asleep. When he goes there the next day, he finds that the game is already sold out. X4 and Luigi decide to stay up all night with Mario for the next night to buy the game the next day. The gang gets tired and starts seeing and saying weird things. They all fall asleep and are unable to buy the game again. After finding out that Wario gets the last copy, Mario steals it from him, only for him to hate the game. Lack of music makes this one a bit of a slog.
The episode is not as wacky as the title will suggest. I'll rank Super Hello Kitty P Party 2. Above, Darkness Takes Over, but below, A Day Without Peach. Mario continues his journey, this time attempting to find the green gem. Mario talks with a few different characters, none of which knowing about the gem. Luigi ends up finding the green gem while talking with Mario through the Nokia phone in the volcano in part 2. Mario then beats Luigi up, but the green gem falls out of the Mushroom Kingdom and into green screen land. Mario and Luigi travel to this place where a number of fun green screen gags happen. Mario finds the gem and returns it to the shrine. After returning all of the gems, the spirits of the stars don't give Mario anything and trick him into jumping off of the shrine. Anticlimactically, the story arc ends here. Even though this 3-part series isn't the best, it did lay the groundwork for future multi-part episodes. The Lost Gem series also has continuity events and the consequences that lead from scene to scene. We don't even have to wait until later seasons such as 8 and 9 to see story arcs have lasting impacts on the universe. It's a slow process, but the series does improve from here. I'll rank The Lost Gems Part 3 above The Visitor, but below The Lost Gems Part 1. For SMG4's big 50th video, Mario pours poison he found at a polluted river onto SMG4's computer. This enrages 4, as usual, as he has all of his stuff on his computer. 4 then forces Mario to get him a new computer. Mario looks around trying to find a computer, but isn't smart enough to get a new one. Instead, he asks EGAD for help. EGAD has Mario use his time machine, yet again, to prevent Mario from destroying the computer. Mario goes back in time and stops his past self from destroying the computer. However, meeting with his past self had created a time paradox. The sky turns black and the fabric of reality starts to tear itself apart. Mario runs outside naked as it begins to rain because it's his method of taking a shower. It's neat how this detail is consistent. Anyways, the two Marios then start dancing to fix the problem. This solution works as Mario travels back to the present. All is good and the day is saved. This time travel episode is the best one yet. It is also nice to see acknowledgement of this being the channel's 50th episode. Already, we've come a long way, and creating 50 unique episodes is no small feat. For some reason, the SMG4 wiki lists this as the first episode of Season 2. For the purposes of these ranking videos I'm making, I'll consider the ends of Season 1 and 2 to be the last episode uploaded for their respective year. I'll rank Poison Computer above Account Loss, but below Hide and Seek. Here we have our first deleted episode from the channel. To respect the privacy of the creator, I won't put up any footage of the episode, but I'll still go over the plot synopsis and rank the episode. Here, watch Mario dance instead. SMG4 is trying to tell a story, but Mario keeps interrupting. The episode then goes on to recount the story of how Mario was born, and what he did as a baby. The episode also goes over how Mario became involved with Nintendo. The story of this episode has been retconned, and future episodes will count Mario's birth and childhood. The humor in this episode is not good. However, this episode was the debut of the Old Man Hobo character. The Old Man Hobo is a reoccurring character that is either immortal or multiple different old men with identical appearances. Old Man Hobo is sort of a mascot for the channel. He is always played as a joke, and often delivers a lot of the old person jokes in the show. I'll rank How Mario Was Born above Losing Your N64, but below Toad Gold. Brother Love follows the story of Luigi having a crush on Daisy. Luigi doesn't know how to talk to his crush, so he gets Mario to help him. This is a mistake as Mario doesn't do anything helpful for the whole episode. Mario talks to Daisy in Luigi's place, and it goes poorly. Mario then sets up a dating account for the internet for Luigi, but Luigi only likes Daisy. Luigi finally musters enough bravery to talk to Daisy himself. Luigi tells Daisy that he loves her. Daisy doesn't feel the same way, but she doesn't exactly say no. She kisses Luigi, even if it was to only see him overwhelmed emotions and laugh at him. This makes Luigi very happy as he gets his first true win. It's awesome to see the Luigi plots be more sincere with their storytelling, as opposed to the craziness of the Mario-focused plots. The jokes in this one didn't land, but Luigi was a pretty fun character. I'll rank Brother Love above Hall 9000, but below the Race for Golden Overalls. The series' first special episode, Halloween Special 2011,
begins with Mario setting Toad on fire. Mario then compares costumes with 4. He realizes that he needs to add more features to his costume to have on the level of 4's costume, so he looks around for what he can use. Mario finds his way into a temple where he steals a magical mustache from a shrine. However, the hand deity warned him that a zombie apocalypse curse would be enacted on Mario if he steals the stash. Mario steals it anyways, but when he puts the mustache on, he looks exactly the same, because he already has a mustache. When Mario makes his way back to the castle, zombies rise from the earth and eat Toad's brain, turning him into a zombie. Mario 4 and X then try to survive the zombie apocalypse. The gang barricade themselves in a room. 4 and X demand that Mario returns the stash to end the curse. When Mario leaves the room, he finds the stash but is surrounded by a group of zombies. Just as it seems that Mario is going to die, the zombies hesitate. They only want to eat brains, and Mario doesn't have a brain. 4 and X then shoot the distracted zombies, and the gang make their way back to the temple. After a brief battle with the temple deity, Mario returns the stash, ending the apocalypse. This episode is fairly solid. A few of the jokes are even funny, with the brain, mustache, and a joke where Mario mistakes zombies for pizza delivery, with the zombies then going ring the doorbell again, disguised as delivery drivers, just to sneak another zombie into the castle. It's not too bad for a first attempt at a Halloween special. I'll rank Halloween Special 2011 above The Mystery of the Chest, but below Scatman's Revenge. This episode is short and sweet. Mario is looking for his gun as he walks on an SMG4 doing questionable things. Mario asks 4 what he's doing, and 4 tells him that he's playing the idiot test game. For his amusement, Mario wants to take the idiot test. Mario then fails to answer simple questions correctly and uses what little brain he has at identifying simple objects. Mario's progress is then halted by the question of what 1 plus 1 is, causing him to think. He clicks on the hint for the answer, but only to reveal the answer is not spaghetti. This causes Mario's brain to explode, and he then falls into the ground, convulsing and making random sounds. The comedic timing in this episode isn't bad. This might be the funniest SMG4 video so far, and the short length definitely works to its benefit. I'll rank Mario Takes the Idiot Test above Halloween Special 2011, but below Scatman's Revenge. Woo! War of the Fat Italians, yeah! If you don't know, War of the Fat Italians is one of the defining traditions in the SMG4 series. Each War of the Fat Italian video, or WATFI, has 4 and Mario compete against each other in a series of challenges to see who is better. The competition is usually held by X. Fun fact, the idea of War of the Fat Italians was proposed by the real-life person who was represented by X. Right there. The general plot structure has been used a few times before the first WATFI, but the WATFI sub-series is what molded it into tradition. In the later seasons of SMG4, War of the Fat Italians becomes the must-see event that ends year-long story arcs. The quality of a WATFI video is usually equivalent to the quality of videos that put out that year. With that being said, how good was the first War of the Fat Italian video? Well, it's not very good. Shocker, I know. But in fairness, it's not like the show's creator knew what the series would be as a child, and it's still ridiculous to expect anything of quality from these early videos. WATFI 2011 has all the same trademarks of 2011 SMG4. The subtitles have spelling errors, the usage of music and sound effects is not used consistently, with weird periods of silence, and a number of jokes that are told are not very funny. War of the Fat Italians 2011 begins with Mario being depressed because he has no spaghetti. Toad doesn't want to listen to Mario's sad spaghetti story, so he decides to prank SMG4. When 4 walks in to work on his computer, he sees that Mario drew all over it with a marker. The next day, Mario sees a video posted to YouTube that depicts Mario not liking SMG4. Mario and 4 then begin to fight. To prevent the two from killing each other, X proposes that they do a competition. The first challenge is a duel with pellet guns. This stops before it starts because Mario brought a real gun. The second challenge has the two answering questions about each other. 4 and Mario still hate each other, so they're unable to answer the questions correctly. The third challenge has the two draw pictures of each other, with 4 not finishing his drawing and Mario's being, that. The next few challenges have them do a staring contest, a spaghetti eating contest, Pokemon battle, a tea party, and giving old man Hobo a bath. X momentarily stops the challenge because he realizes he is going nowhere with reuniting 4 and Mario. Suddenly, a robber bursts through the door. The robber shoots a bullet towards SMG4, but Mario intercepts it, saving his life. SMG4 is taken aback by this, and realizes that he still loves Mario. Mario survived the shot due to his fat being thick.
4 tricks the robber into thinking he shot the queen. The robber flees and 4 and Mario forgive each other, ending the conflict. This Wattfee is the worst of the 15, and isn't even great for 2011 standards. There is a specific type of charm to it though, and its quality and video style. The inexperienced amateur styling gives the video a keen sense of nostalgia. This is one of the most important SMG4 episodes, due to it starting the War of the Fat Italian sub-series to begin with. I'll rank Wattfee 2011 above The Mystery of the Chest, but below Halloween Special 2011. This episode begins with Mario deciding to watch Mario 64 bloopers after looking at Image of the Spaghetti for 2 hours. 4 walks in on Mario and sees something strange. One of the videos Mario is watching is exactly like Wattfee 2011, except slightly different. The person who uploaded it is by SMG4, and all the characters in the video are knockoff versions of the ones in SMG4's video. Being enraged by this mysterious person stealing his ideas, SMG4 vows to stop the SMG3. Mario calls the police, but they don't care. 4 writes an email to YouTube, but Mario writes the email for some reason and messes up 4's chance to report SMG3. A hidden figure sneaks into the room and leaves a note. 4 and Mario read the note, telling them to go to the back of the castle. There, they meet a person called MCG. MCG helps them find SMG3, who's hiding atop of Peach's castle. When they meet SMG3, 4 asks him why he's stealing his ideas. SMG3 tells 4 that he steals ideas because he finds them funny and because he's a deranged, crazy person. 3 then pulls out a gun and threatens to kill SMG4. Before 3 has the chance to shoot, another person comes from out of the blue and beats him up. It's the person named FM. SMG3 makes his escape and promises that he'll be back someday. This episode is significant for introducing 3 new characters. While FM hasn't been developed yet, he is essentially the bad cop to X is a good cop. SMG3 is characterized well here, as he is the main recurring villain in the SMG4 series. SMG3 is a character who has dastardly intentions and enjoys delivering pain and suffering onto those he dislikes. SMG3, however, is pathetic, and his idea of evil hardly goes beyond stealing candy from babies and jaywalking. SMG3 doesn't have many original ideas, and thrives off of bootlegging items and ideas from others. This episode is pretty cool. I'll rank SMG4 versus SMG3 above Halloween Special 2011, but below Mario Takes the Idiot Test. Oh boy, that title. This episode has jokes that don't age too well. Granted, they aren't any worse than ones told in the last few, but they still aren't appropriate. The humor in this episode depends on if you have the mentality of a Victorian-era peasant who'd have a panic attack over seeing someone who is markedly different than themselves in any way. The gay jokes are bad and not funny. This episode is about Luigi being cloned multiple times by a person who wants to take over the world. Mario, 4, X, MCG, and FM stop him. The setting for these last few episodes has been exclusively at the castle, I might add. It'd be nice to see some more variety, but I'll rank Operation Gay above Adventurous Drive, but below Quest for a Console. Mario and 4 are fighting yet again over Mario being naked and licking the computer screen, which has Image of the Spaghetti on it. What a way to start. X recommends that Mario and 4 switch overalls to see what it's like being another person for a day. The other cast members also switch overalls. X switches with Luigi, MCG switches with FM, and Toad turns into the Rock. Somehow, switching overalls transfers some of the personality traits too. Everyone switches the overalls back at the end of the episode, and everyone has more appreciation for being each other. This episode has a cliche plot, but it's done well enough here. It is confusing at times to tell who is who, due to the lack of voices for the characters. The colored font can only do so much, especially when there are only 3 colors being used for 7 characters. I'll rank Switcheroo overalls above The Lost Gems Part 1, but below Time Travel Tells. X decides to go outside, explore nature, and enjoy the beautiful scenery. Some things never change. He eventually arrives back to the castle after finding a weird-looking mushroom. The crew decided to give it to the fat shy guy, who immediately dies upon eating it. For some reason, Mario 4 and X decide to eat the mushroom too. The 3 of them shrink in size and must find a way to reverse it. They ask others for help, but no one can help them. Mario then suggested they get a wizard to make them grow back, which has the rock wizard materialize from the thin air after muttering the magic words. Did somebody say wizard?
The rock casts a spell that puts itself on fire instead of making the 3 to grow back to normal size. The 3 then decide to go to a bomb-on battlefield to eat a super mushroom to grow back to normal size. The 3 make their way up the mountain, and after a brief conflict with King Babam, they go back to normal. The plot of this is solid and fine, with the only funny joke being when the fat Shy Guy falls down on 2 occasions. This episode is the first to have the fat Shy Guy and the Wizard Rock, which are more background characters which can be found all throughout the series' future from this point on, which is cool. I'll rank Mini Italians above Poison Computer, but below Hide and Seek. This episode begins with Mario and Luigi wanting to have Peach and Daisy's love. The Rock Wizard then appears and tries to summon a love potion. The Rock Wizard fails and summons a new character by accident, Roughman. Roughman is a very hyperactive person whose abilities are not well defined. The Rock Wizard successfully summons Love Potion on a second attempt. Before the Rock Wizard has a chance to tell Mario the person who drinks it will fall in love with the first person they see, Luigi and Mario give the princesses the potion. Peach and Daisy then end up falling in love with X and 4 instead. The 2 princesses want to be married the next day and force 4 and X into marriage. Mario, Luigi, and MGC then team up to stop the marriage. In the end, Roughman solves the conflict by charging an energy bomb Dragon Ball style and launching it into the crowd. The effects of the love potion wear off and the status quo returns. It's neat to see the general episode structure for all these videos set in now. The plot for each episode has evolved past Mario does something wrong and must fix it to save the day. The conflict is molded by different characters' distinct personalities, and the comedy works its way on top of that. This episode is fine though. Nothing about it stands out too much in the past few. I'll rank Awkward Weddings above Crime Time, but below Account Loss. A crazed man carrying a toilet arrives at the castle. No one knows who he is. The crazed man then starts to attack people, chasing Mario 4, MCG, and Roughman out of the castle. FM stays inside to fight the crazed man, but goes back out when he sees the crazed man attack Toad with the toilet and shove him up into the bowl.
SMG4 just predicts freedom all the way back in 2011.
FM decides to train everyone so able to expel the crazed man from the castle. FM teaches them how to fight through a number of training exercises. Mario becomes fixated on fighting like a sumo wrestler and brings a real sumo wrestler to his aid. FM then has to do training exercise where half of them must protect the rock, and the other half must try to steal it. After this training exercise, the gang begin to battle the crazed man. This is technically the first proper fight scene in the series, and it's not too bad. A lot of inspiration was drawn from Dragon Ball as FM and X teleport around fighting the crazed man. The crazed man is defeated by Mario throwing the sumo wrestler he brought at the crazed man, causing him to fade out of reality. The extended cast of Mario recolors is beginning to be a bit much, and I can see it possibly being hard to follow if they keep adding more. Otherwise, this episode wasn't too bad. I think too much time is spent on FM training the crew and not on the battle and antics of the crazy person. The sumo wrestler joke wasn't too bad. At this point, the frequency of edited images on the footage is noticeably increasing. The usage of sprites and images hasn't been perfected yet, but it has made the comedy and storytelling more dynamic. I'll rank The Crazy Fighters above Halloween Special 2011, but below SMG4 versus SMG3. This episode begins with Mario dying, but he came back! Mario then acts as the agent in chaos he is and annoys Toad. In active defense, Toad throws a pillow at Mario, telling him to fall down, bump his head. Toad thinks he kills Mario and tries to hide the body. When 4 and X find Toad and Mario, they find that Mario isn't dead, but instead has memory loss. He's acting a little dumber than usual, if that's even possible. The gang go outside and they are greeted by another new character, Epic Yoshi fan. They tell the crew that the Wizard Rock can help restore Mario's memory. To find the wizard, they travel to the sky, where they encounter SMG3. SMG3 has kidnapped Wizard Rock and wants to enact revenge on SMG4. 3 then challenges Mario to a fight to the death. By all means, 3 should have won the match. This fight sequence is actually kind of funny and creative. Mario isn't paying attention at all and is playing Twister instead of fighting 3. Mario accidentally avoids 3's attacks, causing 3 to hurt himself each time. Mario gets the color blue in his Twister game, and since 3 is the only blue thing around, he jumps on his face. While this is happening, X frees the Wizard Rock, who uses magic to return Mario's memory. Mario then launches 3 out of the ring with a single punch, and the day is saved. Like the first video of SMG3, this one isn't too bad. Having SMG3 be a reoccurring character that appears only ever so often makes his appearances feel more impactful. If 3 appeared just as much as
the main cast, the shtick would get old fast. Fight sequence between Mario and SMG3 is also good. It utilizes Mario's stupidity in a scenario that makes SMG3's failures all the more entertaining. I'll rank 99% idiot, above Mario Takes the Idiot Test, but below Scatman's Revenge. This episode has the crew search underground for treasure when they stumble upon a magical crystal. While the Mario Recolor crew go on their adventure, this episode has Mario and Luigi play pretend Star Wars with each other as the beat plot. When the Recolor Marios touch the crystal, they're transported to a dimension inside the crystal. They find out that SMG3 created this dimension to torture the people he hates. In this crystal dimension, a bunch of previous villains show up, including the robotic Mario clones, the crazy toilet guy, the guy with the evil Luigi clones, and the Toad zombies. The gang is saved by the two new Mario Recolors, of which I will not name because what's the point anymore. The only Mario Recolors with distinct personalities are SMG4, SMG3, X, FM, and Roughman. All the others blend together, they really don't have much going on. Anyways, these new Mario Recolors show up and help the crew escape. They beat SMG3 and leave the crystal dimension. It was fun to see the previous villain show up, but that was the only enjoyable part of the episode. The jokes were really bad, and the episode goes on for too long. The story could be told in 10 minutes, not 15. The only reason this episode ranks near the middle is because it has a story structure. I'll rank Crystal Funhouse above The Land That Never Was, but below Mission for Peach. Alrighty, the first thing to notice is that the Mario 64 HUD is finally gone. It took 63 videos to figure out how to hide the HUD, and it makes the viewing experience much better. Up until this point, the HUD was large and got in the way of things happening on screen, so it's nice to have a clear image, even if it did take this long for it to be removed. This episode has Mario lose his clothes after running around naked. While Mario enjoys being naked, I can't believe I just said that, he still wants his one and only pair of clothes. This episode has Mario and 4 look for his clothes all across the Mushroom Kingdom in a series of wacky hijinks, preventing them from attaining the clothes. Like the last episode, this one lasts too long, and the plot is too simple to justify the runtime. The jokes were better in this one, with the fisherman dad being kinda funny. This episode almost feels closer to a 2014 or 2015 SMG4 video. The usage of sprites combined with Mario 64 and Gmod makes the visuals unique. This episode has more sound effects from across the internet and from popular TV shows. I know I said this a few times before, but the series is already pretty different now from when it started in the first few videos. At this point, SMG4 feels like an actual web series, and not mere individual blooper videos of Mario 64. I'll rank Hunt for the Hero's Clothes above the Crazy Fighters, but below SMG4 vs SMG3. We open up with Peach's castle being decorated for the festive season. Mario can't wait to get presents from Santa, but no one else around him believes in Father Christmas. Mario tries to lift everyone's spirits by caroling. As night falls, Mario stays up and hopes that he can see Santa. When Mario walks outside, he sees Santa flying in the sky, but he mistakes him for a terrorist and shoots him down. Mario investigates the crash site and sees Santa emerge from the flaming sleigh. Feeling guilty for ruining Christmas, Mario decides to help Santa deliver presents. Mario dresses up as Santa and delivers presents to everyone in Peach's castle and the home of the crazy fisherman dad. Santa fixes up his sleigh as he and Mario deliver presents all around the world. Christmas is saved as everyone sings Deck the Halls. In the morning, everyone opens their presents, and Mario gets a magazine on tips for weight loss. This one was nice and wholesome. The decorated landscape made this episode stand out visually to the others this year. The montage of Santa and Mario delivering presents was fun, and the jokes, while not funny, weren't terrible. I'll rank Christmas Special 2011 above Mario Takes the Idiot Test, but below 99% Idiot. This is a good way to finish off the year. Well, that was cancerous. After reviewing every video uploaded to SMG4 in 2011, I can say that a vast majority of these are unsurprisingly bad. I would only want to rewatch maybe about 5 videos out of the 64. The editing was very crude and distracting. Text was not fitted for the 4x3 video recording, and it sometimes covered the whole screen. It can also sometimes be difficult to read a text due to it being edited out too quickly. Background music was used more effectively over time, but was used inconsistently. These videos are bountiful, their periods of silence. The The storytelling was basic and formulaic, with a number of episodes repeating story beats used in previous episodes. The plot structure rarely evolved beyond character does something bad, wacky hijinks ensues, character solves problem, and all returns to status quo. Most of the comedy is crude, edgy, and immature. A decent portion of the jokes are flat out not okay and rather offensive. However, the biggest contributing factor to poor quality videos is that they are long and boring. The simple stories they put forth are not inherently bad, yet the pacing of each episode moves at the speed of molasses, and it takes forever for anything to happen. This problem amplifies all the previous problems listed because it makes them all the more apparent. It also doesn't help that 2011 has the most episodes out of any year for the channel. It takes genuine effort to watch all these, with full attention given to each plot point and joke for every episode. I wouldn't recommend any of these episodes to general audiences, and only maybe a few to those who are fans of SMG4. However, all of these problems can be excused since the channel's creator, Luigi, was only 12 years old when he started making videos. Genuinely, what were we doing when we were 12 years old? I know I didn't create 64 YouTube videos. If anything, it is extremely impressive how quick the writing and editing style evolved over the first year alone. Observing the differences from the beginning of 2011 versus the end, it is immediately apparent. A lot of the problems I've listed earlier were partially solved in this year alone. Background music tracks stopped overlapping each other, and the plot structure became more defined, with the stories of each episode being distinct from each other too. It took almost a whole year, but the videos also got rid of the Mario 64 HUD. The humor of the channel that still persists into glitch to this day was established here. The usage of fast-paced and random humor to exaggerate situations for the purposes of comedy got its roots in these old videos. A lot of the groundwork for SMG4 finding its footing was made here, and if it wasn't, we wouldn't have what we do today. The characters used at the beginning of 2011 were exclusively what could be found in the base Mario 64 game, but many staple characters to the series were introduced by its end. In this year alone, we saw the introduction of SMG4, SMG3, X, FM, Old Man Hobo and his bathtub, The Rock, and all the distinct personalities of the Mario characters. By the end of the year, the usage of sprites, images, and Gmod was used to improve and expand the kinds of stories that could be told. By the end of the year, we also see the SMG4 series enter its Mario Recolor era in full swing. I imagine many of these Mario Recolor characters were added because Luke's real-life friends asked him to put them into his videos. Anyways, enough of my blabbering. Here's every 2011 SMG4 episode ranked from worst to best, starting with A Painful Day in Paper World, The Cake is a Lie, Dreams, Just Like Any Other Day, Blooper Problems, Time Freeze, Flashbacks, Darkness Takes Over, Super Hello Kitty Roller Coaster Tea Party 2, A Day Without Peach, The Land That Never Was, Crystal Funhouse, Mission for Peach, Have You Seen This Polygon, An Adventurous Drive, Operation Gay, Quest for a Console, The Lost Gems Part 2, Master of Failed Disguises, Mario's Guide to Defeating Bowser, Charming Peach, Losing Your N64, How Mario Was Born, Toad Gold, Castle Jumping, Time Travel, Zombies, Luigi's Payback, Mario Quits, Bowser the Unhappy Fat Turtle, Restoring Normality, Brother Battles, Enter X, Hall 9000, Brother Love, Race for Golden Overalls, The Visitor, The Lost Gems Part 3, The Lost Gems Part 1, Switcheroo Overalls, Time Travel Tells, Mario at the Olympic Games, The Forgotten Door, Brother Wars, 4 Clones, 1 Italian, Blue Deception, Luigi and the Haunted Castle, A Random Day, Italian Kidnapping, Crime Time, Awkward Weddings, Account Loss, Poison Computer, Mini Italians, Hide and Seek, The Blooper Competition, Weegee Disease, The Mystery of the Chest, War of the Fat Italians 2011, Halloween Special 2011, The Crazy Fighters, Hunt for the Hero's Clothes, SMG4 vs SMG3, Mario Takes the Idiot Test, Christmas Special 2011, 99% Idiot, and finally, Scatman's Revenge. This era of SMG4 is entirely unique to the others due to the small size of the channel. After all, it didn't even have 1,000 subscribers yet, and the level of quality of which they were made. This year has a level of authenticity behind it that makes it so special. Watching these videos is like watching my younger self play with toys and come up with my own stories that I would invent so I can play with my friends. I do not care that these videos are bad, because all the art and stories I made when I was younger were bad, and so were probably yours. Everyone makes bad art. It's part of being an artist. These videos were not made with the intention of creating masterpieces. They were not made to be the best Mario 64 videos on the platform. They were not made with the future intention of starting a company. These videos were made because their creator was having fun. These videos continue to be made because their creator and their audience were having fun. Anyone can look at the 64 episodes I just reviewed and say that they were of poor quality, and it would suit their creator best if they stopped and learned how to properly make art. SMG4, however, didn't stop. Almost every week was something new and fun to make us laugh, and even feel emotional towards the silly characters. SMG4 never quit. The series kept going despite what anyone could say. Even in its finished state, someone can say that SMG4 is childish, cringe, and questionable for however maintain an audience that big. It is perfectly okay to not like SMG4. The show is not for everyone. Many of those criticisms are true, but that persistent effort to continue creating is what made this series as unique and influential as it was. No one can deny that was a good thing for SMG4 to continue creating content. Without SMG4, there would be no Digital Circus, no Murder Drones, no Gaslight District, or no Knights of Guinevere. Without SMG4, an entire brand of humor in video creation wouldn't exist. It is almost impossible to determine the influence the series has, since its legacy expands in both large and small ways. SMG4 is so extraordinary due to it following the golden rule of life: keep moving forward. As long as we learn from the efforts of the man and team who created this wonderful series of enduring legacy, we can do something just as fantastic.